So this is a really short 6-minute video from last Saturday at Buttonwillow. We were with the VARA organization and had a pretty small group of cars. So it turned out to be mostly practice for Daryl and I, which actually was just fine. I'm still trying to figure out how to downshift smoothly every time.
Now this is the real start to the race on Saturday. I guess they did a lap without the pace car.
You want to race or get it right?
Okay, here we come. Robert is in pole position.
As Carrie-Anna said, I'm starting on the pole, which is on the inside here, and just to my right there you can just make out the wing of a little black FC car. I think his name was Bob Yalen. He was pretty fast in that car, but he ended up having some problems. He ran today, but ends up not running on Sunday. Here's the start into turn 1 and 2, the off ramp here, and I've already got a lead, so and the car behind me is really shouldn't be able to beat me, so I'm just kind of settling down and running some laps. I'm on pretty old tires. I think I have 130 laps. No, I take that back. About 120 laps on them already, and about 8 heat cycles in them from up in Sonoma. And so just again practicing, as I mentioned, and going around the riverside here. We're going to jump around quite a bit to keep this short. I think we're about to make a jump here now.
Go, baby, go.
Okay, still first lap and going over Phil Hill now and down into Star Mazda. We were running the full configuration number 25 and running it in clockwise direction today on Saturday. So that means all the way down to this corner here, Star Mazda. Tomorrow we'll run it in the opposite direction, but the same track. On Friday we did this in practice, and for whatever weird reason I got 146.5s in both directions. I don't think I should be doing that, but that's the way it went. Again, practice, these same old tires and all, so I was happy with it. And this is the end of lap 1, of course. As you can see from the gauge cluster there in the center of the screen, we've jumped 3 laps. We're on lap 4, actually the end of lap 4, and that's the first lap car. I think that was number 17, Bill. His car I saw in Coronado, and is why I'm racing today. Long story there, of course. And now we've jumped ahead again to lap 5 and another piece of traffic, Formula B, I think. Just jumping ahead here. And at the end of lap 5 here, a third and fourth lap car. I don't know if I mentioned it yet, but lapped cars are all I passed. I started on the pole and only got the 10 laps and finished in first place on Saturday with no real issues. Again, just a lot of good practice. Trying to learn how. I think I mentioned this earlier, but I probably wasn't clear. When I downshift, particularly when I downshift more than 2 or 3 times, I don't blip the throttle sufficiently. That car we're passing right there, that belonged to Jim Clark, and that car's probably worth about $2 million. And that's another story, of course.
Go, go, go.
looks similar to a previous shot, but this is actually me lapping the little Lotus, the Jim Clark car again, a second or maybe even third time, I forget. New driver in the car, and of course, about 50 years difference in technology. I think that's a 1960 something, and I'm driving a 2005, 2010, depending on how you look at it. And I think this is the end of the race. I decided to back off a little bit here and not pass this guy before the checkered flag so he could get his last lap in. I hope he appreciated that and was aware. And that's it. Good day at the track. Tomorrow will be a little less good, but still fun. Just threw in a couple shots here of the checkered flag and of the car just because it was looking so pretty. And you can see Paul Lysick's Ralt 1985 Super B in the background there. And then, of course, I want to say thanks to the crew, Bob and Frankie, who are with us this weekend. We didn't have our teammate Vince normally, but Daryl is there. There will be a couple shots of him, I think, in the Sunday race. And, of course, my lovely wife, our videographer, if that's a word.